The discovery was made recently after researchers analyzed daily records from the radio research station at Ditton Park near Slough, England. There, routine measurements of the ionosphere were taken from 1933 to 1996, quote, the largest continuous set of ionospheric measurements in the world, unquote. According to the study published Tuesday in the journal Annales Geophysicae, the results could help scientists to learn more about the events on Earth that impact the ionosphere.
Palo Alto School District has secured more time to determine how to respond to a legal threat alleging its school board elections violate the California Voting Rights Act. The Southern California attorney who claimed in August 10th letter that the district's at-large elections were racially polarized, making it more difficult for Latino and Asian voters to elect candidates or to influence elections, has agreed to extend a 45-day statutory deadline for the district to respond.
Paris, France has always been a location for many world leaders to meet and discuss trade and peace treaties, and one of the founding fathers was a part of negotiations in Paris nearly 240 years ago.
And Thayer Kacher, our very own resident historian, has been learning more. What do you have for us today, Thayer?
Yeah, that's right, Anushka and Maddie. Today in 1779, the Continental Congress appointed John Adams to travel to Paris, France, as a dignitary in charge of negotiating treaties of peace with Great Britain during the Revolutionary War. Later that year in November, Adams sailed from Europe and arrived in early 1780. Conditions were unfavorable for peace at the time, as the war was going badly for the Continental Army, and the blunt and sometimes confrontational Adams clashed with the French government. That's all for me. Back to you.
Many students have found it to be a struggle to find an open bathroom on campus.
Cody Millara has been researching the story and has more on this.
Tuesday morning, teachers received a surprising email from admin. The email announced that most bathrooms around campus would be locked in response to the excessive number of false fire alarms Pali has been experiencing.
The bathrooms are closed. Unfortunately, we have a correlation between bathroom use and the issue around fire alarms.
Assistant Principal Katia Villalobos emphasized the safety issue and educational impact fire alarms have.
And again, I really have to emphasize the safety issue. A student can fall, a teacher can fall. Not to mention, the most important thing is just the idea of instruction, teaching, and learning. That's the thing that's really hurting, and teachers and students are feeling that burden.
Students have not been impressed with the current solution to the problem.
I would say that getting rid of bathrooms is not an acceptable or viable solution to stop the pulling of fire alarms. Other schools have bathrooms, believe it or not, and they don't seem to suffer from these same issues. So I'm thinking the issue lies elsewhere, and administration should look beyond locking the bathrooms for other solutions.
Ms. Villalobos says it's a temporary solution and admin is currently working on other ways to solve this.
They will. This is a temporary measure, but we're taking in all ideas and solutions, trying to be positive and proactive. We know it's not a perfect solution, but we want to make sure that students still have access. It's not like we're closing them all, but students still have access. But we also, saw that correlation, and unfortunately, we have caught a couple of students.
For InFocus, I'm Cody Millar.
Thanks for that story, Cody.
While bathrooms might be closed, Pali sports teams sure aren't. Max Bonstetter is in the studio now with the latest in Pali sports news. I think that almost all of the Pali teams play away. Isn't that right, Max?
It sure is. Only one team has a home game. There was only one game yesterday, but the score was once again not reported. Make sure to send in your team's scores and highlights to bulletin@infocusnews.tv. For today's action, the Vikes are mostly on the road. Water polo is away at Homestead with boys varsity up first at 3:30, boys JV at 4:45, followed up by girls JV water polo at 5:45 and varsity at 6:45. Moving on to volleyball, boys varsity volleyball is away at Los Altos at 4 p.m. The girls freshman team plays at Milpitas at 4:15. The girls JV and varsity are at Lynbrook at 5:45 and 6:45. Finally, girls JV tennis is away at Los Altos at 4 p.m. Girls varsity field hockey also takes on St. Francis at 4 p.m. Good luck to all teams on the road today. And if you want to catch the one home match today, it's the girls varsity tennis team here at Pali versus Los Altos at 4 p.m. Good luck to them. That's all the sports news I got. Back to you, Maddie and Anushka.
The weather lately has been pretty cold in the morning but hotter in the afternoon. Hopefully the temperatures are going to cool off as we ease into the fall.
Our meteorologist, Ingrid Paichow, is in the studio now with today's weather report.
Ingrid, what is the weather looking like for today and the rest of the week?
Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Anushka. Hey, guys, let's dive right into the weather report. Today in Palo Alto right now is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. The high for today is 76 and the low is 55. There's going to be a gust of wind blowing at 9 miles per hour. Our humidity stands at 65 and there's going to be no rain today. On Friday and Saturday, the highs are going to be 73 and 70, while the lows are going to be 55 and 57. You can see that throughout the week, it's going to be partly cloudy, so we're not going to see the sun at all this week. Now, looking at our forecast, you can see that for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy. However, on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to see some rain, so make sure to bring your umbrellas to school. The highs this week are going to remain in the low 70s, while the lows are going to remain in the mid-50s to high 50s. Now, looking at the Doppler map for the Bay Area, you can see that in San Francisco and Oakland is going to be kind of chilly today. The highs are going to remain in the high 60s, while in Palo Alto and San Jose, you can see that it's going to be a little bit warmer, since in Palo Alto the high today is going to be 76 and in San Jose it's going to be 80. That's all from me. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Ingrid. Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.